Welcome to the first episode of Jinx. And oh my god, I cannot contain my excitement, guys. Have you heard of the latest webtoon from the author Mingwa? He did the series BJ Alex a couple of years ago, and now Manhwa is back. This series is called Jinx, and let me tell you, it is absolutely amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the hottest and wildest yaoi podcast on the planet. Get ready to fan yourself because things are about to get steamy. That's right, it's time for Zealed Fujoshi, the show that's all about yaoi manga. I am Cece, your host, the ultimate Fujoshi, who's always on the hunt for the hottest and juiciest and most thrilling yaoi manga out there. I've read it all, and I'm not afraid to share my honest and unfiltered thoughts with you. From sweet and romantic love stories to spicy and steamy tales, I got you covered. My reviews are not only informative, but also hilarious. So you can expect to laugh your socks off while I spill the tea on your favorite yaoi manga. But before we start, this podcast is explicit. We'll be discussing mature themes, explicit themes, and all things that makes yaoi manga so delicious. So if you're not comfortable with that, it's probably best you tune out now. Let's get one thing clear though. Spoiler alert, I am not afraid to dish out spoilers. So if you haven't read the manga we're talking about, you might want to skip this episode. But if you're brave enough to join us, we promise to make it worth your while. If you're ready to join us on this spicy adventure, grab a cold drink and a cozy blanket and get ready to join me on this wild ride of passion, laughter, and all things yaoi. Welcome to Zealed Fujoshi. First off, can we talk about the main character, Joo Jaekyung, the reigning light heavyweight champion of the MMA Fighting Championship, MFC, International Mixed Martial Arts Tournament, is an absolute beast in the ring. He dominates every opponent he faces and is absolutely one of the strongest men in the world, at least in this series. And let's not forget, he is incredibly handsome. Swoon! And then we have Kim Dan. He is a physical therapist. Dan is a newbie in the whole physical therapy MMA world, and he's nervous about having his very first VIP client. He got a lot of debt to pay, and this job is his only hope. And when he arrives at the gym that Jaekyung is working out in, he witnesses Jaekyung completely dominating his opponent, and boy, even in a webtoon setup, it is scary to watch. But Jaekyung notices Dan in the crowd, and he isn't happy that someone invited a stranger to the gym. However, after the manager explains that Dan is the new therapist, Jaekyung reluctantly agrees to let him try to be his physical therapist. Dan starts his therapy session with Jaekyung in chapter 1, but it's so obvious that he is nervous. And, he kind of accidentally brushes him the wrong way. Poor Dan. But don't worry, Jaekyung is impressed at how well Dan did in this therapy. Even though he thinks that Dan is a complete wimp, Dan has other jobs though. Physical therapy isn't his only job. Remember, he has a lot of debt to pay. So we are showcased a couple of scenes where, aside from this job, he is working at a gas station, at a restaurant, at a convenience store, just to pay off his debt. He was hoping that Jaekyung would call him back. But there's also a part of him that's thinking that he messed up that first session because he did kind of brush Jaekyung the wrong way. And he's thinking that maybe he lost his opportunity to have this VIP client and finally have some sort of a stable work in the physical therapy world. However, when all hope seems to be gone, Jaekyung does actually call him out of the blue and ask him to come all the way to his home. Jaekyung needs Dan's help before his big match tomorrow, and Jaekyung is willing to pay him, guess what? $5,000. This is more than Kim Dan's monthly salary, so of course he agrees to rush to Jaekyung's home. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? Dan's luck just turned around. And can we talk about Jaekyung's personality? I mean, he could have chosen anyone else to be his therapist, but he chose Dan. Maybe there's more to Jaekyung than just being a complete tyrant in the ring. And that's just the first episode, guys. I can't wait to see what happens next. Will Dan be able to handle the pressure of being Jaekyung's personal assistant? Will Jaekyung be able to win his next match? What other secrets are there for these characters? I can't wait to find out. So that's it for today's episode of Jinx. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. See you next time. Attention to all yaoi manga lovers out there. Are you a talented individual with a passion for all things Fujoshi? If so, Zealed Fujoshi wants you. We're on the hunt for a team member to join our passionate and hilarious crew. If you have a knack for reviewing yaoi manga, a love for all things is spicy and steamy, and a desire to share your opinion with the world, then we want to hear from you. Join our team and help us spread the Fujoshi spirit to all corners of the world. Whether you're a writer, editor, or a social media guru, we want your talent and expertise to take Zealed Fujoshi to the next level. So, if you're ready to embark on this exciting journey with us, reach out to us in the description below and let's make magic happen. Join the Zealed Fujoshi team today. Let's show the world what the Fujoshi spirit is all about. And that's a wrap. Fellow Fujoshis and Fudanshis, we hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Zealed Fujoshi, where we dished out all the hottest and juiciest yaoi manga. Remember to follow me on social media, where I share even more yaoi goodness and behind the scenes content. And if you're loving the manga I am reviewing, don't forget to support the author creator by purchasing their work and spreading the word to your fellow Fujoshis and Fudanshi friends. Thanks for tuning in, Zealed Fujoshi, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Until then, keep the Fujoshi spirit alive.